Hello everybody and welcome back to OCD Gaming. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite games that just came out on September 1st for the PS4 and on PC with Steam is Nobunaga's Ambition, Sphere of Influence. Today I'm just going to do a quick little video on the creating officer aspect of the game, which is a really fun feature. It was also a feature that was in Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which I'm a huge fan of Romance of the Three Kingdoms, but sadly they haven't released the newest ones of those in the West yet. But I have hopes that 13 will make it on over to us, hopefully soon, if this is a big enough success. The first, well, I'm going to go straight into it. Basically, I'm going to show what it's like to create an officer from scratch. You're going to start the game, you're going to go into the menu here, you're just going to go to Edit Created Officers, and I'm going to go to Create/Change. Of course you can delete officers you created. You can set them to active or standby in the game, so they'll either show up or they won't show up. And then you can also export or import their data. Now I'm going to go to the Create/Change here. As you can see in my list here, I have a couple already active officers that I've created. I kind of made my own Shu clan since I'm such a huge romance fan. I created my Leo Shu, so his clan name would be Shu. Now my Guan Yu, my Zhang Fei, Zhuge Liang, Zhao Yun, and who else? Oh, Ma Chao and Huang Zong. I don't know if I said all his names right, but at least I tried. Those are my favorite officers, of course, from Shu. But let's go and create a new one from scratch here. Alright, so this is the initial screen here, where you can pick your face. I'm going to go to name first. I'm going to do, let's see, last name, I'm going to do OCD, game tag. And let's do Leo. I like the name Leo. Like Leo Bay. Alright, so here we are. I got my created officer name. I named him Leo OCD. Now I can go into face. Now these are of course you get a wide selection of different faces to choose from. You can choose from 4 different tabs of faces that are actually in the game themselves, and you can see their names. This is who they are in the game. I'm gonna actually go to just the male, the ones that aren't already being used, and I'm gonna pick a face from here. So as you scroll down, you can see you have your own different variations. You have all kinds of different facial expressions, mustaches, beards. Some of them are in suits of armor. Some of them, of course, dressed as like politicians, typical for the genre. Then you have your older gentleman over here. He's like holding a teacup. I don't know how that's gonna help him to fight, but politician, right? Let's see here. And then you have even a Westerner. You can pick a Westerner face, or even you got your ninja look. You can look like a ninja there. Let's see. I'm gonna kind of go down the list here. You can see some of the names are already filled in because I've used them with the face. Like my Leo Shu here. I chose that face for him. Let's see. Going on down the list. So this is just a look at some of the male faces you can use. Now of course you have your females. You can create your female officers. This is a look at some of the faces you can use for the females. There's another one. Another one. And of course you have one that even kind of looks like a ninja as well. Nice. Let's see, and then some in armor, decked out in armor as well. And okay, so those are a look at some of the female different faces that we have you can use. And then of course you have this extra tab where these are kind of like extra faces that you can use. Um, these are like special. I want to call these like almost like special faces to me because they're more unique. Some of them are used, I think, or at least they're closely related to the officers in game. Like this one is looks like Shingen Takeda. I think it's just a different portrait of him. I think this is a different portrait. Well, this one looks like Masamune Date, the clan leader. And of course, some of them look like Oda himself. And then there's these other faces beneath those that don't have names associated with them that you can use as well. As you can see, I chose this for my Ma Chao face. I'm using him right now. I like this portrait. There's some good portraits in this extra tab. Now go back to the extras here. Okay, so that's it for basically the faces. Let's actually choose one here. I forgot to choose one. That would help. I think I'm gonna use a ninja portrait. We're gonna do a ninja portrait. Why not? Alright, so after that, you've picked your face, you've picked your name. Now you can go down to birth, and you can of course change the gender, and you can also change the voices. So you can
Leave it to me.
use like a middle-aged earnest voice,
Leave it to me.
middle-aged bold, zealous,
Leave it to me.
friendly,
Just leave it to me. Leave it to me.
or fierce,
Leave it to me.
or even patient. Planners, all kinds of different voices you can use. You can after you get out of the mid-age, then you only get, I think, yeah, you only get one voice for the old voice, I guess, the old veteran.
Just leave it to me. Just leave it to me.
Which is kind of funny. And then you get a couple different female voices as well.
Leave it to me. Please leave it to me. Please, leave it to me.
Please leave it to me.
That's a look at some of the voices. I'm gonna pick I don't know, a random voice. We'll do
Leave it to me.
youth and patient. And of course you can pick after that who is your father, basically, either in game or already an officer that's already made, or you can even make a created officer be your father as well. If you want to set up like your own bloodline and everything so forth, you can do that. Or you can just have them be related. You can set them as a relative to one of the officers as well in the game, or a created one. Now after that you can go to personality. This is where you can change the tenet, which is kind of like what personality, well, kind of what personality they are. Like the CNCV stands for conservative, the PRGS stands for progressive, and then the NTRL is for like neutral, kind of like a neutral personality, or conservative or progressive. Now that ties in with your ruler, your daimyo. Like if he's conservative or progressive, like all this has an effect on your officer's loyalty, whether they mesh well with the other officers or they mesh well with your ruler. If you can always make your created officers be the same to where they always mesh perfectly, and you probably won't ever have to worry about loyalty issues. Now for ideals, you can choose from fame, clan, talent, profit, justice, or ambition, or even mastery. You can choose different ideals that they may possess that they're focused on. For loyalty, you can pick from a range from 1 to 15. Like I think that's what they would start with. I believe is what the loyalty they can start with, or you can pick them up at. The tier has to do with how quickly they can grow. Now, if they're like a tier A or a tier S, which is the highest, it means that their abilities can grow rather quickly. Or of course, if they're a tier C, then they grow rather slowly. I'm going to make him a tier S. After you finish with the personality tab, then you can go on to the tactics. Now for the tactics, you only get to pick one of these, but it's like their special, well, their special kind of trait that they have. There's some of these. Let's see. For Swift, you can raise your speed. Also, there's different types. There's two types, I think. There's Strengthen, and let's go to the bottom real quick. At the bottom, there is Obstruct, and then there's only like 3 Restore traits that you can pick from. Like one of them, the tactic's name is Rage. It's a Restore type, and I accidentally exited out of that. Let's see, let's go back to that. Okay, back to the Restore with Rage. You can cure surrounding confusion effects. It's a pretty good effect to have, I would say. But I'm going to focus him more on the Strength tactic. Some of these, let's see, the 3 arrows, chance to confuse enemies when shooting. Rampage, greatly raises own unit's attack. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with Rampage. He's going to be a Rampager. Increasing his attack. Sounds good to me. Now for the next tactic, or the next tab, not tactic, is Lifespan. You can choose when they're born. You can choose how long they live to, which, 60, 65, 80. You can have a maximum of a lifespan of 110. So you could have your 110-year-old ninja running around if you want. Why not? Let's do that for fun. We'll make him 110. That's how long he'll live to. Now, when you change his lifespan, depending on when he was born, you can see at the bottom of what scenario you choose at what age he'll be. So if I choose the scenario Birth of Nobunaga, he'll be age 16. But if I choose, let's say, the Battle of Sekigahara, then he'll be 82 years old starting that battle. I'm going to leave it at that for now. I'm going to leave his lifespan 110. Go to confirm. And then the next tab is condition. You can basically just choose like where he's going to start at, what city he's going to start at, what year he's going to pop up in. So you can kind of mess around with that and figure what works best for you in your scenario or campaign. I'm not going to pick any for right now. I'm just going to show you what this tab looks like, but we'll just confirm this for now. Leave it blank. And then next you're going to move the page over and you go to abilities. Now this is where you can make your officers OP. I mean, I would suggest not making your officers OP because it just makes the game unfair. You're going to notice in this game not a lot of officers have amazing stats. And so when you do find an officer with amazing stats, you're like, oh my god, it's like the greatest thing ever. But you're not going to find that many officers that have amazing stats completely across the board. Now, since he's my ninja, he's my fighter, I'm going to make him have a pretty good leadership and a pretty good valor. Let's see, the max is 100. I'm going to set him at 92 for leadership. Oh, by the way, leadership controls how much he can defend, like how high his defense is. So it's also good to set your officers that have a high leadership as castle lords, because it means it would take longer for the castle to fall and this and that. It's a good attribute to have as a castle lord for defense. Now for valor, of course, it's how much your unit's attack is going to be. I'm probably going to choose 95 for that. And then intelligence, of course, how smart he is in battle and everything else. It plays a pivotal role in fighting and in creating your cities as well, developing them. I'm only going to choose 82 for that. And then politics, of course, that's important for developing your cities as well. It's a really important trait. But for him, he's not going to be much of a politics guy. We'll do like 75. We'll leave him at that. Now for growth type, qualities will return to default. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm actually not gonna deal with the growth type. I don't want my stats to be changed. But for traits, the next tab, you can go in here and you can pick up to, I think it's 20 traits. I only pick a certain amount, and then you can learn more as you progress with your officer in the game, as he fights and does develop developing for your city and everything, they'll start to have more traits be gained and become better, basically. Um, let's see, I'm just going to do a couple traits for him right now. I'm going to do agility, so his movement speed moves up slightly. He's a ninja after all. Let's see, let's go down and do... Let's do... What do I want to choose here? These are... Let's do... Try to decide what I want to choose here. Let's choose talented, to where he gains experience for other abilities as well. And then we have further down the line, you can do a virtue trait to where they sometimes obtain treasures. That's a good trait. Treasures are good to keeping your officer's loyalty up, so that's a good one. Also, you can choose if they are stronger with horses or muskets. I'm going to choose him to be stronger with muskets, marksman. Now, of course, you can go down the line. There's a bunch of different traits that you can choose from. I'm only going to choose those 3 for now. And then, let's see, those are his traits. His stats are set. Yeah, I think he's looking good. Let's hit confirm. So right now, we finished with this tab. We're going to move to the last page. Now, the last page, you can choose to write a bio. You can create your own character history per se, kind of like they do in romance or in this game. Every officer, every leader has their own bio and what they accomplished or who's their parents or whatever you want to put in there. You can create your own stories basically with your officers and your clan. So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to put anything for that. I'm going to leave that blank. But let's see. I think we've done everything. We've done his face. We did the name, the birth, personality, tactics, lifespan, condition. Everything should be set. So let's hit confirm. And let's see. Where did he go? Oh, he's at the bottom here. Okay, so you can see my officer at the bottom of the list here. He is... yeah, he's set to active. Confirm. Let's quit out of that. So now, like I said, you can change your officers to active and standby to where they show up in game or not. Now, another thing is if your officers that you want to use are set to standby, and let's say I wanted to create a clan with my Leo Shu officer, or even my new created officer, you need to have them set to active, or you won't be able to find them to set as your clan leader and then start a game with them. So make sure those officers are set to active, the ones you want to use in game. Let's see, let's go back to our new officer, Leo OCD. So that was just actually, I just wanted to bring up his picture again. That was just a quick rundown of going about creating an officer in the game. I'll probably do another tutorial actually showing officers in game, starting a new campaign with my own personally created clan. But right now I just wanted to show you guys what it's like, what it looks like to create an officer in game, which is pretty thorough, pretty in depth. I like it. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns in the comments. But as always, thanks again for watching OCD Gaming, and we will see you all next time.